Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and want to see more. Coming up, Toronto's second year plans for the Canada Cup. Aces move plans have been confirmed. And the signing so far for the Toulouse Olympique's first foray into Super League 2022. But first we're looking into Josh Hodgson's new career may finally be taking shape as he's ready for a sensational player swap deal with the West Tigers hooker Jacob Liddell. The story comes out of the Daily Telegraph in Australia, which has kept up with the story lately as Hodgson's future continues to take a number of twists and turns. The Green Machine are willing to let the Englishman talk to other clubs in a bid to remove his substantial wage from their salary cap, with youngster Tom Starling expected to slot straight into the number one hooker role. However, Starling has spoken to the police in New South Wales for a second time in under a year after trying to attend the club, only to be refused entry, which could jeopardise Starling's future at Canberra, as well as potentially throwing Hodgson's transfer away from the Raiders in question. It's yet to be known how Hodgson is finally going to get a move from Canberra, as they're pondering a decisive swap deal that could cut the Englishman's career at the Raiders short, with Hodgson still under contract for 2022 in the NRL. Hodgson has been a revelation in his time down under, joining the capital club ahead of the 2015 season and has almost played 150 career games for the Raiders. Hodgson, though, is 32 years old and probably only has a couple of years left of rugby league at the highest level, whereas Liddell is 25 years old, the New South Wales resident, and has been with the West Tigers since 2016, turning in 56 games and 10 tries up until 3rd of June 2021. So would this be a good signing for the Milk, the Green Machine, Liddell, or would they prefer the leader that is Josh Hodgson? Let me know in the comments below. So, some news from the NARL club, Toronto Wolfpack. If we hear rightly, there is going to be another Canada Cup tournament, which the Wolfpack are looking to expand to a 4-team competition. This comes after a successful meeting in 2021 between the Toronto Wolfpack and DC Cavalry, which ended in a victory for the Toronto Wolfpack in front of a decent amount of crowd, 1,200 people. There were some guests on the sideline, like Blake Wallace, who came over after his retirement announcement to help his, well, I know it's Toronto Wolfpack ex-player, but he was in DC Cavalry garb, and make of that as you will. Anyway, the star of the show was clearly Blake Maharovic, who picked up a couple of tries on the day and was found man of the match. Now, in 2022, the Toronto Wolfpack's version is going to be a 4-team tournament in the Canada Cup. We don't know if that's going to be over 2 days or 1 day, but hopefully it's enough to generate some buzz at a decent tournament. Maybe the year after they go to an 8-team tournament and an invite 16 tournament the year after to grow it naturally for a cup competition before the season. It'd be an interesting thing to do, going from 8 games to 4 games, to 2 games to 1 game in a 4-week span as a pre-season tournament, a competitive one. It'll get everyone tuned up and the league afterwards. But that's my thoughts on whatever the Toronto team are going to do is going to be completely different. I'm excited as it brings a new dimension to rugby league in America, especially in Canada, and hopefully they'll keep all of the fans and grow on this little tournament to create Toronto Wolfpack legacy. We'll see what happens, and I'm very, very positive that these noises are coming out. So earlier last month, the Ottawa Aces sent out a press release announcement, which I covered in a previous video, in regards to their status, as they had been speaking to governments in Canada and the UK about them running in the the RFL League One for 2022, and they made a sad decision, that they are not going to be able to be a transatlantic team. So the only option was to run back in the UK. Now, there was rumours that they were going to be in Liverpool, Harrogate, Bristol, and other places, but an announcement has come out over the last few days where they have decided to go, and that is Cornwall. And the Cornwall RLFC has been founded, and the founder of the club is former Toronto Wolfpack owner Eric Perez. Now, Mr. Perez has had a conversation about the Cornwall Rugby League Football Club, as he has named 3 ambitious objectives for Rugby League's newest club. Professional Rugby League will head to Cornwall for the first time after they were given the go-ahead to play in League One next year. Following the decision to relocate Canadian club Ottawa Aces to a permanent location, Perez has taken the licence they purchased from Hamel to the southwest. Perez said, "We permanently relocating back to England. Moving to Cornwall makes it's a truly national sport. I've been working on this for about 4 or 5 months now. If you dig deep into it, Cornwall and Northern England are extremely similar places with its culture and industrial history, with its mines and fishing. The class system is not there. It's rugby league's place waiting to happen. It's a rugby league place waiting to happen, and it's the first true southwest expansion. There is massive untapped talent resource there because everybody in Cornwall picks up an oval ball. I have 3 goals. One is to walk out at Old Trafford for a Super League Grand Final. The second is to build up rugby league across Cornwall. And the third is to have Cornish players playing for England." So they are lofty goals, but if you're going into anything, you must have ambition. It's serious. You must have those ambition and goals to be successful. It's one of the truly pretty places in Britain, no question about that. And the population in Cornwall in the summer triples from 600,000 to 1.8 million people. As Eric Perez says, there isn't going to be like the other expansions that have been in England. There is no professional summer sport in Cornwall. That makes us a tourist attraction and puts us in a unique position. He also said, "This is an untapped gem. I've spoken to pro clubs and cities the length and breadth of the country, and no one area puts together the kind of package that Cornwall can. People say, why don't you go to Birmingham or other big cities? But truth is, rugby league will get lost in those places. Whereas in Cornwall, we can actually make an impact." It does make kind of sense, and I must say that in some cases it's harder to get to Cornwall's base than it is to get to Ottawa. as you get direct flights out of Manchester, Leeds, London to Canada, whereas it's a 6 to 10 hour coach drive for fans in Halifax, for instance. That's one of the downsides I would have to say about it. But everything else is all about expansion, and I'm a non-apologetic expansionist. I am for the growth of rugby league, and you can see it is what he wants as well as making himself successful and some money. No two ways about it. We all have that motive. So let's carry on with what he said. So Perez insists that the project is fully financed, with the money that was going to Ottawa being diverted to Cornwall. He says the ownership group comprises of representatives from both Canada and the southwest of England. The squad will be initially part-time. Perez says an announcement about the coach will be made in the coming days. Former coach Catalan's Dragons boss Laurent Freixenet was due to take over charge at Ottawa for 2021. He remains involved despite his appointment as a French national coach. Perez is confident he can win over the doubters when he presents his plan in a meeting with the Championship and League One clubs on Wednesday. I'm going to cover that a little bit, as there is a little bit of dissension from the ownership side of all the clubs being in not informed by the league that this was going to go ahead. But all I can say about that is, why did they need to be informed? They do not have a say in which teams come into a league. If that was the case, then they wouldn't get promoted or relegated. It's a no-brainer. If you want the benefits of a pyramid system, you have to accept that some teams are going to come from somewhere else, and they might do a better job. They're just scared because it's another money team that's coming in. Yes, it is a money team, and so more money brings in more success for that one team, and that will have a knock-on effect to teams in Cumbria, Newcastle. Newcastle so much, as they're a money team and fully professional themselves. It's just a drive. So, that will be the upsetting part, which is money outlaid a little bit more. All I can say about that is, if you are not running your club properly to fund yourselves for travel outside of the M62 corridor, then what are you doing in the sport or for the sport? There are some fans that are worried that moves like this might mean that teams go to the wall. It may happen, but they've had over 100 years to get their business plan right, grow the sport enough so that they can survive, get their fans back. There's a possibility that there are too many teams in the M62 corridor for the sport to grow. The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If we had a team in Harrogate, that's another team in the same catchment area. This is another team outside of an area with a big catchment area that plays an oval ball sport, whether it's rah-rah or league, and it will help grow the sport, not just for the men's, the women's too, as I'm sure they'll be looking to get that partnership with the Cornish Rebels, the women's team in the Super League South, to progress. And Cornish Rebels have thrown their weight behind it. As I said on their website, Cornish Rebels are pleased to finally be able to publicly pledge our support and welcome the news of the new professional rugby league club, Cornwall Rugby League Football Club. Since establishing the sport of rugby league here a decade ago, our chairman John Beach, along with development director Rob Butland, have always been clear about the ambition to bring professional rugby league to Cornwall, and we are proud and excited that we have been able to work with fellow director Colin Groves and Cornwall RLFC president Eric Perez to achieve this. The Rebels will continue to work to establish a pathway for rugby league players in Cornwall, and this most recent step in our journey is indeed a great one. We now have a platform which the talent we know exists in Cornwall can access, develop and shine upon. The Rebels are proud to have been appointed by the RLFC as stewards of the sports development in Cornwall, and there is much more to come as we push towards our goals of accessible opportunities for all who want to play rugby league. We want to take this opportunity to thank and wholeheartedly every player, volunteer, sponsor, associated and friend of our club for the part in the start of our journey. And we look forward to working with all of you again in the coming years. So there are plans out there of what they want to do to improve the pathway for players, Cornish Rebels being the development. I know that they're playing at Cornwall RLFC's place in Rin, Cornwall, a ground called the Memorial Ground. It needs a bit of redevelopment in the future, but it's a good first step into the introduction of rugby league, as it probably be an inexpensive place to play from, and also a base to start from. I'll be making my way down there sometime in the summer, either with one of the rugby league club tours or going down for a long weekend. I know that much. It'll be good to see how this project progresses in the next 3 to 5 years, and I'll look forward to seeing more and more. For Toulouse Olympique, Sylvain Houlez has done a magnificent job getting them into Super League and have already started retaining players that you think will do well in Super League, such as Justin Sangare, who had a lot of interest from other Super League clubs to come and join them, as he is a talent, young, and is a big forward. What more could you not want from any forward from anywhere around the world? But Toulouse are steadily bringing the squad together. Contracts for retaining players, yes, that's good, but a couple of players have retired. One of which is Remy Casti, who is still going until the end of last season and went out with a Toulouse promotion. But who have they brought in? Well, first of all, we're looking at London hooker James Cunningham. Cunningham joins for a 2-year deal, and said that he has joined. Well, he joins from Huddersfield Giants, not London. But he started off in Hull at Hull FC for 2012-2015, where he only played 10 games in those 3 years. But he was loaned out to London Broncos, played 17 games and 2 tries in 2014, and then Doncaster for 5 games. His success at London Broncos saw him get a move to them from 2015 to 2019, where he played 104 games, scoring 31 tries. He played for 3 games with the Toronto Wolfpack before moving on to Huddersfield Giants for 10 games, and finds himself on 149 games going into this new 2020 season. The next player that is coming in is former Catalans halfback hooker Lucas Albert. He played for since 2015, the 23-year-old, and has played 55 times, has scored 8 tries, as well as 28 goals for Catalan Dragons, as well as a loan period during that time at San Estevez, which is basically Catalan's B-side in the Elite One. He played 15 games and scored 4 tries during that period, as well as 30 goals. And then in 2021, he played for Carcassonne in the Elite One. He also played for Toulouse Olympique on loan for 1 game, but he's also a French international with 5 caps since 2017, 3 nines caps, and he joins Toulouse on a 2-year deal. And in the spirit of player retention, they've decided to extend the deal for another year or so for Tony Gigot. The 30-year-old fullback or halfback joined Toulouse midway through last season and impressed for his hometown club Avignon in the French Elite One Championships. He has played over 200 career games at the top flight with Catalan Dragons, London Broncos, Toronto Wolfpack, Wakefield and Toulouse, and also periods with Avignon. So 200 games total in that part, in his career. He's also a French international, where he has 15 caps and 8 tries, as well as kicking 12 goals. This is before the recent international against England, where he was involved. But he has a good CV with the clubs that he's played at, mid to lower level Super League standard. But he did have a crack at the Cronulla Sharks, but unfortunately didn't get any game time with them. I must say that during the 2018 Challenge Cup run, he was named man of the match and won the Lance Trout Trophy in a 35 points to 16 victory over St. Helens. In the semi-final of the Challenge Cup. But in the final against Warrington Wolves, he won the Lance Top Trophy, becoming the French player to do first French player to do so. So there is a little bit of pedigree behind that guy. We know he has got it, and he could be a leader. Well, he is a leader there, but he could be the voice that progresses Toulouse to stay in the Super League for many years to come. And that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, and also click that notification bell for any updates and new videos that are coming along, or any breaking news that I may have coming to you. Tell me what your thoughts are on the new Cornish club, the Cornwall RLFC. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of a name tweak in the future, as there are the Rebels down there in old, so on and so forth. Anyway, it's exciting times for rugby league, even though traditionalists are poo-pooing the idea on social media, which is expected, as they poo-poo everything that is within half an hour in their own home, walking. Tell me what are the benefits you see for the club, for rugby league, having a club down in Cornwall. Like I said in my piece, I'm going to be visiting there. There's not a problem with that. I'm going to get on a plane and fly down. Simple. Hour and a half at most. And it costs less than driving on the round trip. Simple. More to come tomorrow. We'll be looking at Wakefield's squad. We'll also be looking at a sacking in the NRL, which was expected, to be honest, but with a bit of a delay. In the meantime, all the best. Share this video worldwide. Tag your mates in. Grow the channel so I can grow rugby league. I'm hoping to. Anything that I get out of this will be going straight back into rugby. That's for sure. But please stay safe, play safe, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.